Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast, presents episode 843, Holiday Cheer, recorded live on December 8th, 2022. Three, two, one. Happy holidays, everyone, and welcome to Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Duststorm.
I am your other co-host, Godzilla T.
And it has been almost a month since we've been behind these microphones. First week was because of Thanksgiving, a couple weeks ago. And then last week was because I had COVID.
Again.
Yeah. Almost a year.
And I just had whatever creeping crud's been floating around.
It seems to be a lot more pervasive this year.
Well, yeah, because
that's for sure.
That's because everybody's laxed. How many people you see walking around with masks on?
Yeah.
The sheer amount of people you see walking around. I mean,
pretty much. I'd say it's at least 99.9% of folks. There's that 0.1% that are still wearing masks.
It's back to the point where seeing someone in a mask is an oddity. It's not, just something that's you see every day.
Yeah. At least it's not kind of like before when you saw someone wearing a mask, if it wasn't like a straight up medical mask, kind of was like, that seems a little weird. But now it's just kind of commonplace. So masks are just socially acceptable now.
So, it's one of those deals. Yeah, a lot of places, a lot of things. We're back to pre-pandemic habits in a lot of places.
Yeah, there's still some doctors' offices around here that still require masks. There's
all the doctors' offices and all the hospitals around here, all the medical facilities. Let me put it that way, still require masks. They're very nursing homes are very strict on who can come in.
Yep,
pretty much. In most cases, it's immediate family only. So wife, sons, daughters, that's it.
Right.
I mean, not even grandchildren. So there's still some lingering effects, and there probably always will be.
Yep, that's kind of how things go with this kind of stuff. But all things considered, I'm through it. And at least I'm more or less immune to whatever strain I had for the next 3 to 6 months.
Until it mutates again.
Until it mutates and it comes around again next year and I'm screwed once again.
Well, at least you get a mild case of it, so.
Yeah.
You don't wind up in the hospital.
No. I mean, thankfully the worst that I had this time around was over the weekend. My throat was really sore and scratchy. You can probably still hear it a little bit in my voice. And then Tuesday, my nose was just running nonstop. And this is the first day, today was the first day I could feel like I could breathe out both nostrils. And one wasn't stuffy versus the other. So I'd say tomorrow I'm probably going to be good and I can finally stop isolating. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, since it's been a while, thought we'd go ahead and do a little bit of a life update since we kind of already have talked about that a little bit. And I know we talked a little bit about it during pre-show, but there's quite a bit of stuff that's been going on with us. So
there's been a couple of things that have happened.
Yeah. I picked up more of the Shadows of Reach book. I'm now more than halfway through, and I'm starting to pick up some of the whole weapon creation storyline. So I plan to have that done by Christmas. And I can tick another one off before the next one comes out in February.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just perpetually be 4 books behind. No. I gotta catch up. So that's been going on. I actually did start coding Virgil.
Again? Or are you starting fresh?
No, starting fresh. So
okay.
The Discord API has changed a lot. So I did get it to a point where I could get the bot re-added to a server instead of having to just read every message, you can actually create slash commands. That was an update that Discord made this year. So instead of pulling every message and dissecting every single message, now you just wait for they call it an interaction for Discord. So that actually eases off the load on the server a lot. So I want to just kind of get that integration at least reconnected, because I want to look into actually doing the scheduled tweets as a temporary fix for the Podtacular server. Not that we need it right now, because we're just, obsessed with custom games at the moment. But once we go back to actually putting the poll out, it'd be nice to have that. But for anyone that's in the development process of Node and everything, I'm going with the MERN stack, which is MongoDB Express as the backend web server, React as the front end server, and then Node.js as the engine. So I'm going through a whole bunch of tutorials on how to do a basic MERN style app and start coding the website part of it. I might do a personal stream at some point once there's enough underlying stuff that I can demonstrate what crazy ideas I have for this thing. And I'm telling myself I want to at least work on it 30 minutes a day. And that'll at least get me into some kind of rhythm where I'm at least working on it, but not taking up too much time on it at a time. So
be interested to see what you come up with.
Yeah, thanks. A lot of things have changed, so it has made me go back and look at my original foundation document of these are the things I wanted to do, and kind of reevaluate how I structure things, and looking at the different types of models to support the things I want to do. I've had to change some ways of how I wanted to organize code and everything. So it's a whole big process, but I've actually started work on the community level Virtual bot, not just the one I did for the Halo Hub or Halo United, which that bot is more or less dead at this point. But I'm reusing some of that code for Discord side of things. And then I got to also look into Twitch integration, YouTube integration, Facebook integration, and Xbox integration. So all that fun stuff. Let's see, what else? I think all gaming related. That's it. Talked about this pre-show, but I'm getting a puppy. We're getting a puppy on Sunday. We're getting a golden retriever. His name is Milo. We've gone ahead and sequestered off a part of our first floor so we can potty train it and try to get all the puppy necessities figured out and sequester it from the cats. So hopefully the first meeting between the two will go somewhat pleasantly. Yeah. So what about you, GT? What's been going on over the past few weeks?
Let's see. Work, eat, sleep, play Halo. Pretty much
the play Halo part.
Now, over Thanksgiving, I did finally give my nieces their Xbox.
Nice.
About a year ago, I picked up a Series S for them. Just came across a smoking deal, so I figured I'd go ahead and get them one. And I just gave it to them Thanksgiving. So they were really happy about that. But really, other than that, there's not a whole lot that's been going on with me.
Very nice. I did have the idea, I think we mentioned it on the podcast before, about whenever Campaign Co-op came out, that we would, actually give away the extra Halo Infinite Series X that I have. Because we missed the last 2 weeks of podcasts, that didn't happen. Still trying to figure out when to give that away, because I would like to do it still for the podcast, but I want to come up with some clever way to give it away, and I haven't had any time to really think about it. So if anyone's got any clever ideas of how we can give away this Xbox Series X Halo Infinite Edition, let me know. And GT, that goes for you too, because you come up with a couple cool ideas of how we've given away things in the previous years. I don't know if we should do some kind of like time trial contest type of thing, or some Forge related thing, or I don't know. It's got to be some interesting way to figure out how to give that console away. Anywho. But other than that, I've been also playing Halo. I've actually been getting into some custom game nights with some other Halo folks throughout the week. I did join Dragon Friday last week. We had a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. We dived into some big team. Did we do customs? We tried to do some customs. Some worked, some didn't, I think.
Yeah, we did. We did customs.
There's a new speed map that actually functions better than the one that we tried.
I don't think I ever tried the speed map that I have.
I think the one that I played on Wednesday or yesterday with Savage Giggles was Lightning Speed Halo or Lightning Halo, something like that. The vehicle physics still kind of mess with it, but it at least works. It's the best speed Halo that I've seen so far and experienced. Lots of cool duck hunt maps have been coming out. Diglett seems to be a community favorite.
Yeah, we played that.
Lots of cool remakes.
Dust was really happy
with Diglett. Diglett, just screw Diglett. It's chaotic.
If you haven't figured it out, Dust had a little problem with Diglett.
I mean, I'm already horrible with aiming in Infinite. It's probably my second worst game to aim with, next to OG Halo 3.
Well, see, the funny thing about Diglett is all you have to do is stand up and pull the trigger. You don't really have to aim.
Unless no one's in any of the holes that you're facing, in which case you have to move your aim over. Yeah, and my snap aim in Infinite doesn't work as well as it does in other Halo games.
Duck, rotate, stand up, fire.
Yeah, or when you on the way that you're standing up, you get sniped in the head, or on the way that you're crouching down, you get sniped in the head.
Well, yeah, it's kind of the point of the game.
I mean, it's fun and chaotic. Just
imagine if all the holes were filled, how much fun it would be.
Someone yesterday got a Killtrocity.
Yeah.
In Diglett.
Mm-hmm.
There's some cool paintball maps that I haven't had a chance to play yet that I want to try. What else is out there? I've seen some fun Forge toy type things.
Mm-hmm.
Latest thing I saw today is someone actually recreated the hover effect from Halo 5 in Forge. Yeah. So I'm guessing it's kind of an interaction with if you've got the thruster pack, and I guess if you hold the thruster pack button. The little video on Twitter didn't explain how they implemented it, but someone did create the hover effect in Halo 5, which is pretty cool. Any Forge things that you can think of?
Let's see. What have I seen?
We got quite the crowd. Hey, Confel. Hey, G. Lewis. Hey, Fuchs.
I've seen so many that they're kind of all running together again.
Yeah. We're going to have to actually start taking notes on all the different Forge things that we're seeing, because
that's no joke.
There's just that much. Hi, piece of fuzz.
I was wondering if you're going to notice that.
Well, I saw it on my screen. I'm like, what is that? It's like, is there actual snow on my webcam? It's festive in here too.
House now.
Yeah.
I've got the shirt to go with it. The snow you see on stream it's real. It's not a video file at all. Anyway.
Movie magic. More game shows. Oh, that would be interesting. How would we select? Oh man, I like the idea, but coordinating something like that for doing the console giveaway, I'll just say the game show stuff's easier to do in person. It's harder to do it over a stream.
Well, that's why you have to get your game show map built.
Well, at this point, it's either forging a game show map or working on Virgil. Maybe I spend 30 minutes on Virgil and 30 minutes on the game show map.
See?
Just going to disappear for an hour and a half every day. I could. I need some... I would be okay with doing the functionality side of the map. I would definitely want someone to come in and make it pretty, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let me do the script brain stuff. Let me do the basic block out of the map where I would want the audience to stand, where I want the players to stand, spotlights and everything. And then someone come in and make it pretty. Like, I can do simple spotlight move and someone make the movement smooth and everything. So that'd be kind of cool, though. That could be something I could stream on the, I guess either Podtacular channel or my personal channel. One of the two. Not a bad idea, though.
No?
Not a bad idea. Let's see. What other things? Oh, anything else, Forge? Things that you can think of? I'm going to Twitter to see if, like, Sketch or Unishek have retweeted or shared anything that kind of jogs the memory a little bit, because I know they've been retweeting stuff. Oh, do we want to say that, well, we'll just say it. Tom French has left 343. His last day was Friday last week. Some of the community reacted in the way that you would expect, saying that, oh, Halo is going to crap and everything. It's like, no, it's just time to move on.
Got to the point I just flat don't ignore it. I just ignore it anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Tom left because he found something he wanted to do more. And
I mean,
I can't
doing
blame
something
him.
for 11 years is a pretty long time.
And I can attest to that. I did the same damn job for almost 20 years. And I had enough. I moved on to something else.
And that's okay. And that's normal. That's a normal part of life.
It's nice to do that, especially if you're in a position where the job's starting to frustrate you. And thanks to certain elements, his particular job could be a hassle. And, like I said, he's moving on to something he wants to do. That's all that really matters. I wish him the best of luck.
Same.
And, I just hope that he has fun doing what he's going to be doing.
I hope the same thing.
Although I did see a video game or a game type. It's red light, green light.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yep. Guess what happens when you don't stop moving?
You die.
You blow up. Well,
oh, that's even better.
A mine appears at your feet and you explode.
Oh, that's even better.
Or a grenade or something. I don't know.
I like it. I really like it. Let's see. Looking at Sketch's Twitter, looks like the Captain Direwolf, who made the original phase shift in Halo 5 Forge, is remaking it in Halo Infinite.
Nice.
For those who don't remember, phase shift is a style map where there's basically two equivalent maps running in tandem, and you hit a equipment and it'll teleport you, but like between the two levels.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mint Blitz also shared a video that's very similar, where there's it takes the effect, but instead of having like an orb showing it, like you just don't know where the other person is. Clearly he hasn't been around Forge a while, because he said he's never seen anything like it. And it's like, well, phase shift kind of does the exact same thing. But aside from that, there's a capture the flag game variant and another map out there that has the exact same mechanic, where you're basically changing between two separate maps that have the same layout. And if you wanted to get a quick getaway, you could phase to the other side and then have that.
Hope that the other person, you get away before the other person switches over, or you don't switch into in front of somebody else.
You run behind, you switch. That'd be funny. Of like if you phased and you try to line it up for a ninja, like the other person's like running after you and they phase in front of you, and you just smack them after they phase. There's a whole other kind of game mechanic and ways to think about movement and interaction for that kind of game. So that'll be a lot of cool to see.
Just what Halo needs, more mechanics. Oh.
Someone recreated, or there's a lot of different recreations of maps and things, lots of old style maps, a lot of reimagined maps, a lot of just straight up remakes.
On that subject, I don't mind the Halo remakes or reimaginings, But please lay off the COD. I'm really getting tired of seeing COD maps. They're not that great.
There's some good ones out there.
I will give you that. I haven't found one, but I'm sure there's at least one.
Well, the COD maps are built for a different style of game, so you have to get maps that actually kind of work well with the Halo sandbox. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And there's a lot of them that are just nostalgic. Someone's work created Dust from Counter-Strike, which, I mean, that's a no-brainer for FPSs. Oh, Forge Hub announced their first Forge contest, which we hope to have them on to kind of talk a little bit about more. And their website has been delayed a little bit too, but their first Forge contest is a team doubles style, HCS style Forge map running from the 1st of December through the end of January. There is a $10,500 prize pool up for grabs. This is the largest giveaway of, or largest prize pool that they've had in any of their contests so far. So that's pretty huge. Again, we hope to have them on to talk a little bit more about the contest, but that'll be really cool to see. Did you see the tornado someone made in Infinite Forge?
No, I did not.
I need to add this one to the show notes list. But
we have show notes?
Yeah, I mean, we're getting to the point where we kind of need show notes if we're going to be talking about all this cool Forge stuff and let people know where to find it. Shout out to our Patreon if you want to actually get the link to all the things that we're talking about. That's where the show notes will be posted. But yeah, this person, Noble_UX on Twitter, has a working tornado in Forge. There's been lots of cool racetracks. There's been campaign style remakes as well. That's what I've seen from Sketch over the past few weeks. Let's check Unishock. We're doing this live because I didn't have a chance to do it beforehand because I was busy putting sleigh bells in the Podtacular music and getting a snow effect for the stream. I'm going to save that for the main news. Guess nothing else big at the moment. We could go ahead and talk about the Forge features article that they also released this week, since we're kind of on the Forge discussion. Actually, it was last week. It wasn't this week. But yeah, there's Banished Narrows. So Narrows remade in the style of a Banished facility. The unique Lockout remake we've talked about a little bit already. The Banshee battle. I've seen a lot of video clips for that. I've seen it from Mint Blitz. I've seen it from Real Life Spartan. I've seen it from Ubernick. This is kind of like the initial space battles type game mode and map that has really pervaded and caught on by the community. But it seems to be a community favorite so far.
Yeah.
So that's a cool map. I don't know if we've actually played it yet. We'll probably have to bookmark it, queue it up, and play it tomorrow. We've got Outcast by Ryzen Fox 64. This one is inspired by Derelict from Halo CE.
Nice.
Yep. There is Solution by Unsorted Guy. This one is a new take on, it kind of looks like Prisoner a little bit. And it looks like it's Unsorted Guy. We've seen his stuff before. It's a well fleshed out map.
Yeah, he definitely does a really good job.
It's shown up in several community showcases so far as like one of the first maps that has really been produced by the community that looks dev made or has that dev made feel. So let's move on to some news types. Oh my gosh. I just stumbled onto this one on Unishock stream. There's one called Ship War, and you can actually trigger cannons.
Yep.
It's like Sea of Thieves meets Halo, and it supports all game modes. And the cannons shoot kill balls. Oh, we've got to try this. We have got to try this. Oh, we got a lot of stuff to try coming this week, folks. So join us on Fridays for Fragging Friday. We'll be playing all the customs. All right. Anything else that I can scroll and find on Unicheck's feed? Oh, Prop Hunt. Of course. How can I forget about Prop Hunt? Prop Hunt's been the big one too. Okay. Now let's move on to some of the official news, shall we?
There's official news?
Yes, there is. We've got not one, but 2 December updates, one for MCC and one for Halo Infinite. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's start with Master Chief Collection.
Let's start with MCC then. First of all, wow. First of all, MCC is still going strong. Lots of development over there and lots of new things coming out. So kudos to the team for keeping on working on that. Rip Halo 5. But yeah.
Well, Halo 5 will get its turn. Just not right now.
I hope. So for the campaign, Acrophobia and Bandana Skulls have been added to Halo 4. And the MOA statues have also been added to Halo CE and Halo 4. If you all haven't noticed that over the past few weeks or so. There's a new match rejoin feature. This is pretty cool. Have you read through this, GT? Should I throw a few of these over to you every now and then?
Yeah. Well, let me pull it up here.
Well,
actually, on the match rejoin feature, that's something I've been hoping for a long time.
I hope it's something that they implement for Infinite, too.
Honestly, that's something that it should be with all the games. Well, when it comes to multiplayer. And also, if you rejoin the match, I don't know how they do it, and I don't know if they do it this way. If you rejoin the match, or, if you're kicked out of the match, it should give you the option to rejoin.
Yep.
And if you rejoin, you should not have any penalty, which I should think they would penalize you if you rejoin the match. Because that would also give people that have a legitimate network issue a chance to rejoin the match with no penalty.
Yep. So in the description of how match rejoin works, there's a session URI, for lack of better words, that gets saved to your profile whenever a match gets created. And as long as the game is still running, whenever you relaunch the game and you go back into the matchmaking menu, it'll pop this thing up and say, hey, we noticed that you left the match. You want to rejoin? And you have the option to rejoin or matchmake, like do a fresh matchmaking session or cancel. If you select matchmake, you will receive whatever penalty that you were supposed to receive as if you just did disconnect. So if it's your first disconnect, I think it's like a minute. If it's your second disconnect, it's like 5 minutes and it goes up and whatnot. If you don't click rejoin, then that session ID gets wiped out of your profile. You can't rejoin it again. So it's in that moment, you have to choose whether or not you're rejoining then and there. And you don't get the penalty if you rejoin.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that.
It works for ranked and social.
That's good.
That's a big thing for ranked. For all games except for Halo CE, which they're working on Halo CE right now, you will rejoin and all of your stats should kind of pick up like if you just had never left the game to begin with. So your kills, deaths, assists, all that should still be a running tally if you rejoin a matchmaking game. The only one that doesn't do that is Halo CE. I think Halo CE had a lot of legacy stuff that they just didn't think ahead, so they're kind of looking to possibly add that in there for Halo CE.
Halo CE special.
It was the first in there.
Yeah.
I mean, only had so much forward thinking of what the franchise would do. So
well, there wasn't no forward thinking. They weren't even thinking they were going to make another game.
That's true. This doesn't count for things if you get booted. So if you get booted or you betrayed, booted or anything, that still counts as you got disconnected from the match. You can't rejoin that.
Probably the biggest thing in here is the fact that now, if you play MCC on Steam, you can install mods.
Well, you could before. It's just there wasn't an easy way to do it.
Well, no, now it's actually part of the Steam Workshop. You
go.
can literally browse through the mods, click join, and it will install the mod. And you can browse through the mods in the menu. It doesn't replace an existing map, so you don't have to remember which map you replaced or anything like that. It just adds it to the game.
Yep. So if people go in
absolutely
and
awesome. I mean, honestly, that's probably my biggest hang up with playing mods for Halo is
that's
I'm
been
not
one of
saying
my
I
biggest
can't
things
do it.
too. Yeah.
I'm not saying I can't do it. It's just the hassle of having to do it that way.
That's the same reason why I haven't really touched mods at all.
Mhm.
Is because it's a pain to manually manage all the files. And this makes it easier for I mean, like a lot of other games have supported this, and I mean 343 said that this was their ultimate goal. So we knew this was coming. But for anyone that submits their mod to the Steam Workshop, you can now browse the Steam Workshop, subscribe to a mod, and if you go down the route of doing the no EAC option, you can select the mod, and it will load that mod without having to do anything extra or special, which is so nice.
That's one thing I liked about. Damn it! I just had it. SPV3.
Well, that was like a separate game installation.
Right. Well, the way they did it is you just installed the whole package, and you could run it separately from CE. Right. It still was CE, but instead of being an addition to CE, it was kind of its own thing, which, that makes it really easy. Same with Project Contingency, the Halo 2 one?
Yes.
The one that stripped out all the live service stuff?
Oh, no, that was Project Cartographer.
Cartographer, that's right.
Yeah. Again, these are mods for the Steam version. Someone asked if they're coming to Xbox. Mods are not going to Xbox. This is just for PC.
Right now.
I don't know if they've committed to making. I think they've said mod
mentioned
support.
Something about still working on it for Xbox.
I don't remember seeing that as I was reading through the mod thing.
No, I thought this was previously.
I think they were looking into it, but they haven't committed to it. And doing this kind of mod support on the console is going to take a lot more work.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to support on PC.
Well, yeah. It most definitely is. That does also mean that the Windows Store version is not going to support mods either.
Right. There's mod documentation now for Halo Reach, Halo 4, and Halo 2. They're working on uploading documentation for every game, so that's nice that they have official mod documentation now. There's a new MCC mod updater tool, or uploader tool, so you can actually get it uploaded into the Steam Workshop. And then they also have some mod showcases that they, I guess they have worked with some of the community to start with that initial fill out of the Steam Workshop. Some of them are campaign mods, some of them are multiplayer map mods. So lots of cool stuff. The exchange is getting a little bit of an update as well. So there is going to be, now instead of 5 featured items, there will be 10 there's a possibility of up to 10 featured items in that bottom section of the exchange. And they're also looking to retroactively add points to folks that have gone past level 100 in their Spartan rank. So there's, just because of all the additional seasons, there's been more ranks added. So if you have kind of gone above and beyond and you stopped earning season points because of leveling up, then you'll retroactively get all those additional season points to unlock things. There were some upgrades in Halo 4 that actually were not in the MCC, which I didn't really realize that they were missing. But there were.
I realized one of them was missing because I used it.
Fair enough. But Resistor, Shielding, and Survivor are now in the game. And they're also adding challenges based on some of the original Halo 4 achievements around those Halo 4 upgrades. Halo 2 Classic Emblem support is finally coming into MCC. So everyone who has noticed and has missed their emblems actually being on their Spartan. That's finally being addressed. There's some legacy issues also being fixed. So for those that remember back in the day of Halo 3 on Xbox 360, if you ever got a Killing Frenzy, that medal would always be delayed. Well, they're actually fixing that legacy issue. And there's also a fix for Fiesta, where for games like Halo 3, Halo 2, Halo 4, there's a possibility you could have spawn with two of the same weapon and essentially get only one weapon in Fiesta. So they've fixed that as well. And then there'll be a new nameplate out in the new year for people to go and get.
Yay! New nameplate.
Yay. So, lots of cool things for MCC.
Yes.
Matchmake rejoin is going to be a big one. The modding tools is huge, especially with the Steam Workshop. And then, of course...
we didn't mention that all the games now have modding tools out.
Yep. Every single game with the release of Steam Workshop has modding tools available. All right, shall we go over to the Halo Infinite December update?
Sure.
Big thing is the early release of the custom game browser, which everyone has been going nuts over for the past couple of days. So you can actually go into the play menu and browse custom games that are open lobby and actually join games in progress. Go find some new friends, go try some new modes with people.
I have an issue with this. Not the customs browser itself. That's a great thing. Don't get me wrong. So the way the community has been, the way that I'm trying to phrase this correctly. The way the community has been promoting this, I guess, probably is the best word, is now Halo Infinite's a Halo game because it has custom browser. I'm like,
I know people were saying that with Forge, and I kind of agree with Forge, but custom games browser?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. They're like, this makes it a Halo game. I'm like, okay, since when did Halo have this other than on PC?
Right. The first time it was there was in Halo 5. Like the custom browser for MCC came out after Halo 5's custom game browser came out.
Yeah. I mean, Halo 2 had it. For Halo 2 Vista had it.
Yeah, I'm talking about Xbox.
But Xbox has never had this.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking having it, but honestly, Halo did fine without it. I mean, who plays Halo that doesn't know about custom games?
I mean, that was the way to, like, there was no custom games
that ever happened join a community. Custom games is the ability to browse and download copies of the custom games.
Yeah, file share.
And you made your friends through matchmaking. Of course, back then everybody actually used microphones.
Well, microphones in public lobby. It was a phase. In the initial days of kind of like Xbox Live and everything. That lasted 5-6 years maybe. And Salt Life, I'm curious to hear your issues with getting into custom games browser games, because I haven't tried it yet, so I'm curious to hear what your issues are.
Up until probably into the middle of Reach's life cycle, I still ran with a mic.
I mean, I would every once in a while if it were easier for me to do it, but because my Astros are connected to my PC, I can't run it to my Xbox.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Well, I mean, even when I'm playing on my PC, I have the mic disabled. I've got a mic right here in front of my face. It's no big deal to have it, have a mic available. It's just, it's the community that just changed that. The people that are out there playing Halo is what's changed my views on a microphone.
I mean, there's a number of people that are good out there. Like I've run solo in Team Slayer, and I've actually run across people that, despite them being the only one talking, they communicate and they're effective. And
yeah,
like I've had my
Those
fair
people I
share
don't
of.
mind. Unfortunately, they're the minority.
That's
So,
probably been like a 60-40 split, or maybe 30-70 split for me.
yeah, probably 80-20 for me. But anyway.
There was a game I was playing. I was soloing into one of the playlists last week. Someone had the balls to send me a text message saying you're trash, and I replied back, thanks, smiley face. Because like, yeah, I know I'm not good at this game. I'm still gonna play the game.
Yeah, I've gotten those. I've gotten those messages, and I've find different ways to respond. One of them is, yeah, my YouTube channel is how not to play Halo.
Yep, I respond and I block.
But I've gotten to the point where I don't even bother. If somebody sends me a message, I just block them. I report them and block them.
I just reply to frustrate them. It's like, you say that to try to hurt me. It's like, I don't care.
I've gotten to the point I just choose not to deal with them at all.
That's another way to do it too.
Remove them from the possibility of matching with me again.
Good old block.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, custom browser, great idea. It's a lot of fun. I've browsed through it, and there's lots of fun games in there. They did actually bring the pit in with this update too.
Yep, it's the new version is called Empyrean.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully, it's not all cyberpunky themed like they showed off during HGS Worlds. So
it's still cyberpunky themed, but just not as bad.
It's not nearly as in your face. It at least has some of the
There's
UNSC military wall type layout, but it has some of the lighting effect.
Yeah, there's still way too much neon on
it. It's more tame.
Yes.
At least. So Empyrean's out. It has its own playlist for this week.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to play the pit to your heart's content, feel free. I'm not much of a pit fan.
Well, we may start out tomorrow night in it for a little while. I
don't mind playing it. I'm just not as hyped about it as some crazy people are, thinking it's one of the best maps ever. That and Heretic.
Yeah, Midship's better.
Not. I mean, Midship. That and Midship and yeah. I'll play Trial and Teal 34. It's chaotic. I'm still haven't seen the boarding action map yet. Like I figured that'd be one of like the maps to make in Halo Infinite's Forge, and I haven't seen one.
The funny thing is that's the one map that not many people do in any of the games.
But I feel like for Halo Infinite, with all the abilities and everything and all the crazy stuff,
well, that's what I thought about Halo 5 too. This is the perfect
Forge for it.
That's what I thought with Halo 5 as well. With your ground pound and your thruster and everything, all the abilities you had in Halo 5, I thought it'd be great to have boarding action. Can you imagine ground pounding across the map and hitting someone?
I mean, someone's made Danger Canyon already, which is one of the other off-brand Halo CE for PC maps. But, I mean, boarding action, folks, come on.
Well, I'm sure Danger Canyon plays better in Infinite than it is in CE.
Yeah, Hidden Xperia had a little kind of montage video of his community playing some custom games, and that was one of the ones that he really liked. With the 24 players, he said it actually felt like a good size for 24-player big team, which kind of makes sense. A lot of those big multiplayer maps in Halo CE probably plays well with the Halo Infinite movement mechanic and the 24 players. Let's see, we've got cosmetics that are now just freely available. So, kind of as a response to the feedback that the community has given to 343, all the armor cores from Season 1 and 2 are now available, and there are 10 cadet coatings that have been added to existing armor cores. So, more customization that should have been there from the beginning. Woohoo! But the Mark 7, Mark 5, Rakshasa, Yoroi, and the Eagle Strike armor cores are now free. So the baseline armor core still have all the additional customizations and everything in the shop, or however that stuff to unlock it that way. But at least you have access to all the cores, so you're not, so you can't, so you don't unlock an item is like, oh great, I don't have the core I can use this item with.
Yep.
So now that's not an issue anymore. So good move, 343. Way to make people happy. There's some other quality of life improvements. The red reticle is back on PC, which Accelerate has done some discovery and has found that there's actually auto aim or aim assist on if you're using mouse and keyboard. So that's interesting.
Is it aim assist or is it bullet magnetism?
It's aim assist. Like he has a whole video on Twitter.
It actually pulls a reticle. He's
not moving the mouse. His hand is off the mouse, and he has a friend that's going back and forth across the reticle, and the reticle is moving with him. So, yeah, one of the Halo developers replied to one of his videos on Twitter, and he's like, "That's not supposed to happen."
Oops.
So that might be getting fixed.
So red reticle might be disappearing here soon.
It's probably just the functionality is just mixed up.
Somebody clicked the wrong box when they turned on red reticle.
Yeah, or forgot to untick a box or something. Sword melee. Now they've updated to where if both players don't have shields and you both clash with energy sword, you'll both die instead of one coming out on top. Player reporting has been made easier. You can now report a player in the scoreboard or in the post-game carnage report. And the ever working on network and desync issues.
Mm-hmm.
The big one for this update is vehicle updates, melee attacks, and blank shots due to fake reload should all see improvements with this update. So, Halo Infinite's 1 year old, and the campaign's 1 year old today.
And it just came out of beta. Oh.
I mean, at least we have campaign co-op now. We've got Forge, got custom games browser. The package is finally all there.
Mm-hmm. Now the only thing left is getting some classic game types back in.
If that happens. I hope they don't get lax just because Forge is out and their script brains. Like, there needs to be just some core support for some of these game modes and not relying on scripting.
Yeah. Some of the base game types need to be built and put into Infinite, and Infection's one of them. At least not in my opinion, not for the fact that it's Infection. Just because of how useful it is for custom games.
Well, a lot of people like Infection, so for that too.
Yeah, I don't care about them.
Well, let's not alienate the community here. There are several. There's a good amount of folks out there that like Infection. But anyways, yes, there are good uses of Infection. And I feel like script brains is not the answer for everything. And it shouldn't be.
No, it shouldn't be.
So yeah, we need some custom, not custom. We need those native game modes support. We need that mini game mode type thing that was in Halo Reach's Forge, Halo 4 Forge, Halo 5 Forge, that has all those additional settings, and make those integratable with the script brains.
Yeah.
Make it to where those script brains can read variables from the game mode, and so people don't have to go in and change the script brain for just changing a counter from every 5 seconds to every 10 seconds, or like there's a lot of things that should be just updatable in a game mode versus having to go and modify a script brain just to make one change to how the game runs.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a time thing or a kill thing or a score thing, that should all be in some kind of customizable value in the game mode that can be read by the script brain, in my opinion. I also want to see some more dev maps that aren't strictly reliant on Forge, because things like fragmentation with the treasure vaults and some of the other stuff, like I guess like the scoring value and effect, like the turret on kind of the night map. I don't know if you can fully forge that, but so there's other things that I'd still like to see some dev made maps that's not just in Forge.
Mm-hmm.
Like give us some of these kind of grandeur, like things that we know you had to make this to actually get it in. I feel like that probably is more applicable to Big Team than Forge per se, but I feel like they can't just rely on Forge for new content.
No. They still need to innovate when it comes to maps.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Halo Evidence Forge is ungodly powerful, and the line between a Forge map and a dev map is really fuzzy.
But there's still some things that you can do in dev tools that you would not be able to do in Forge.
Correct.
And I don't want to miss out on things that would be able to be done with proper dev tools that would otherwise be sacrificed for just saying, hey, we've got Forge.
Yeah.
So
let's not pull a Halo 5.
Yeah. Let's not. Okay. That's all the major news, I think. And again, I haven't really had a chance to go through all the community news, or haven't written it down, so I'll need to start actually writing everything down.
Yeah.
So we can start talking about it. So we will be utilizing show notes a lot more over the next few months as Forge continues to produce crazy content, which it has hasn't even been out for a month. And we're already seeing some crazy stuff.
Yeah. It's a testament to how powerful the tool is.
Really is.
And also the changes they've made to, I think, make it a little more approachable than Halo 5's was. I mean, to me, it doesn't seem
bit
near as daunting as just Halo 5's Forge. I think Halo's 5's Forge was, I mean, it was a product of the tools they had available.
Mm-hmm.
But it just seemed like it was just overly complicated for some things.
Well, they were changing how things were done a lot to be more in parity with how a level editor kind of is.
Mm-hmm.
And they made a huge jump from Halo 4 to Halo 5.
Oh, yeah, they did. I mean, they literally took the engine to its limits when it came to Halo 5's Forge.
Yeah.
And that was very evident in a lot of the maps that were developed. Halo 5's got some of the best customs I think I've seen in Halo. And I'm talking that are Halo 5 custom games, not just remakes from other games.
Right. Well, and we'll have our own set in Infinite once people really get to exploiting the engine and the tools that we have available. I mean, this is the most feature-rich Forge we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, that will wrap it up for tonight. Any additional things that you can think of to bring up before we wrap it up?
I'm CP. No, I'm just looking forward to the new stuff. I need to get off my butt and actually start digging through this stuff and making my bookmarks. But, life gets in the way. Just a reminder, if you guys find a custom game that you really like, be sure to post it in our Discord under Game Night.
Yep.
And I will be keeping an eye out on that. And we will download the maps and we'll try them out. And if we like them, they'll keep them. If we don't, they'll go away.
Easy enough said. We'll see you all tomorrow for Fragging Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Fridays. If you want to come by and play some Halo with us, we'll be starting to put show notes now out on Patreon again, since we actually have a reason to notate show notes once again. As I was going through Twitter, I noticed that Halopedia now has 5 different lore hashtags that they use. So there's still Trivia Tuesday they do every month, Lore Thursday, which I think is still every Thursday. And then for Saturdays, they rotate between Spartan Saturday, Starship Saturday, and Sangheili Saturday. And it seems like that's kind of on the weekly cycle type of thing. But yeah, hope you all have a great rest of your week until next week when we do the podcast. Podcast schedule is going to be a little wonky over the next few. We might have some offshoots every now and then. So stay tuned to social media and Discord on whether or not we actually have the live recording. Otherwise, we'll be still releasing podcasts for the most part on a weekly cadence throughout the rest of the year. And then we get to 2023. So, everyone have a good night. We'll see you all later.
Night.
Thank you for listening to Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast. You can find our podcast on your favorite podcasting service and listen to us live every Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Twitch. Check out our website, podtacular.com, and join the community on Discord at podtacular.com/discord. If you want to play Halo with us, come join us for Fraggin' Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Become a supporter of the show by sharing the show with your friends and family, or help keep the lights on by subscribing to us on Twitch, donating via PayPal, or becoming a patron alongside Confowl, Pens Halo, and Prestige Ace. Until next time, keep on fragging trucks.